from the center where the Sixers got the W. He got to see the full LaMelo experience, but it was overtaken by the Jared McCain experience. Kyle Neubeck with us. Kyle, it was the Jared McCain game. He got them the victory that they needed to stop that 5-game losing streak.
Fellas, I cannot believe you are still upright and talking about this team right now. I just want to first say I commend you.
Compared to last week, this is early.
I commend you. Well, listen, it's not about
6 hours, though.
early. I was going to say it's the amount of time, and so I just want to give a brief round of applause, golf clap for you guys over there. Yeah, I mean, look, thankfully they escaped with a win, because if they did not win that game, I think hellfire would have rained down on this arena for giving away a 16-point fourth quarter lead to the Charlotte Hornets. Thankfully, and obviously, as we were all expecting coming into the season, the dynamic two-man duo of Jared McCain and Gershon Yabusele carried them down the stretch. I think it was, I'm sure you guys noticed it, but it was remarkable that the guy with the most composure on the floor for the basketball team was the 20-year-old rookie. That was, hats off to Jared, and just side eye at every veteran player on that team for their various nonsense that happened late in that game.
Was there a pool report? Did they ever explain that overturn call that you know of?
There was a pool report. I actually could probably pull it up and read it to you directly. So Noah Levick of NBC Sports Philadelphia was on duty. Courtney Kirkland said it was clear and conclusive that LaMelo Ball deflected the ball with his left hand prior to any contact. Because it was clear and conclusive, they were able to overturn the call. The follow-up question was about if there was contact after touching the ball, and Kirkland said it was not a foul because he legally deflected the ball from the offensive player. And
so after you deflect the ball, you can tackle him?
I suppose that's the new rule in the NBA, so not exactly sure how that made its way into the rule book, but that's straight from Courtney Kirkland's mouth. So there you have it.
No loose ball foul there, huh? Guess not.
Got it.
Guess not.
I'm as perplexed as you guys are on that one.
I mean, it was crazy. Kyle, we spent a lot of tonight talking about the two guys who were on the fringe of the rotation probably at the start of the year, who look like they might be sticking around for a while, and that's Jared McCain and Gershon Yabusele. I guess whether you were talking to them after the game, I heard that Rico Hines brought the ball for McCain after his huge performance, or just what you observed. What did you make of really either of those guys' nights?
Yeah, so again, I think the thing that really stands out with Jared is that for a kid who's 20 years old, he is very calm and very composed. And I think even when he's not shooting well, even when he goes on a bad run, I just think he kind of has this steady, even keel, unflappable type of personality. And frankly, it's something that he has said he works on multiple levels, right? Like we all hear the stories about he's a gym rat and he's getting so many shots up and he's in the weight room and whatever else. The other thing though is that he works with like a sports psychologist, and he works on the mental side of like keeping himself centered and balanced at all times, not getting too high, not getting too low. And so it's kind of a weird thing to say, but I think he like actually actively works on that to the point that it's an asset for him in a game. And so I think that has stood out on top of tonight. He finished at the rim better than he ever has. And I was super impressed with that, because that's been a pretty big struggle for him. With Gershon, I just think, and we've talked about this on the show, I just think you see that he's a smart basketball player, right? Like he makes up for what he lacks in height with, timely rotations on defense. He makes a lot of little connective passes in the middle of the floor, along the baseline. He's always moving too. And I think that's the thing that I noticed that probably translated from playing in Europe, where they play more motion offense and it's a lot of screen, relocate, find the ball. And if you're not finding the ball, hit somebody with your body and then, roll hard to the rim. It's a sort of constant motion that I think you don't see with a lot of guys on the roster. You certainly don't see it with Andre Drummond, who he's frankly just wildly outplaying right now. So I think, look, we saw it to open the second half. Yabu got the start, and Nurse said afterward something to the effect of, look, we've been coming out in these third quarters and just been getting pasted, and I wanted to switch something up. And it was a talking point before the game as well that, Yabu and the minutes he's playing, they're just better right now. So I am really interested if Drummond is still going to retain this backup 5 job once Joel is back, because as of right now, on merit, Yabusele has just been straight up better, even with the limitations that he has.
Well, that was going to be my next question. With the second half and the changing of the center at halftime, did you get any indication that was just the flow of the game, or if that could portend to something down the road?
Well, so in pregame, Nurse said like a big reason that group is working a lot better with Yabu is just he's shooting well and he offers spacing that Andre simply won't. And he also conceded, like, look, Andre could probably do some more to help himself, make some more of these putbacks, make some easy ones around the rim. I don't know if you guys remember the play. There was one in the second half where Andre was rolling and looked like he had a clear open dunk, and for some reason just did not take it, took a dribble, and then picked up an offensive foul, lowering his shoulder into someone. So I don't know that he'll go away from Andre just yet, because he has been out of his, quote unquote role that he'll probably play over the long term. But I think if you're trying to make it just about this is who's playing well and this is who deserves to play, it's Yabusele. And frankly, I think this is going to happen with some other guys too. Like we talked about Jeff Doughton a little bit tonight. He had a nice shift off the bench that Reggie Jackson got his 2 games, and Nick said, look, you go with the vets first. They get their chance. And now it's time to kind of see some younger guys. So while Yabu is not Jared McCain's age, obviously, he's a bit more of an unknown quantity. But now that he's shown up, I think he has every chance in the world to at least play a pretty significant role. Not sure on the replacing Drummond part.
We all silly like the mayor.